if you've got a personal a personal account, and that account was to be closed for some reason, there's somewhere where you can actually go and talk and find out possible solutions and what the options are. But with a business account, if that were to close, there wouldn't be that same support network in place. So I thought it was kind of an interesting gap in the marketplace, and I was really wanting to ask the Chief Minister, can this be bridged? Is there some alternative that could be provided?
Is this not something that businesses should pay for themselves?
The issue is, if a bank account is closed, it tends to create an instant, massive situation for the company. It could be linked to funding, it could be linked to various other issues. And in that situation, it's how to respond. You know, we're kind of looking at the Christmas period now, and if your business account was to be closed and you need a month's notice, then what do you actually do? Who do you talk to? Where do you go for support?
Wouldn't this be something that could be quite expensive for the government to run?
I don't think there'll be many business accounts that close with minimal notice. I think in most cases the banks have gone through various stages and explained various situations. So I think it's just that one-off situation where there's an ombudsman in place set up to deal with specific issues, and this is just a slight expansion from the personal account to the business account, because presumably a lot of people who've got a business account closed will have the same issue with their personal account, so there should be some crossover.
And you've also asked for the numbers of business accounts that are opening and closing and whether the Financial Services Authority have access to that. Do you expect that there are a high number of closures each year?
No, I presume it's very low, but I'm on the Economic Policy Review Committee, and one of the things we do is actually look at the work of people at the FSA, and it's one interesting thing that the FSA go and look at companies with banking licenses and look at how they're operating. I just thought it was kind of an interesting way to review what the operators are doing, because it's actually that day-to-day situation where the bank accounts are opening, where the accounts are closing. It's not something I would expect to be made publicly available, but I just thought in terms of assessing how a business is operating, it was one thing that could be considered and perhaps should be considered.
Is this the kind of thing that it would really affect small businesses, local operators, things like that, more than bigger corporations?
In terms of the third question, it's going to be down to those people with, or companies with with banking licenses. So it's going to be a small number of specific companies doing very specific things. So in terms of the annual review, it would probably just be a paragraph, just an add-on. It wouldn't be a lot of additional work for the individual providers and for the FSA to look at it. It would just give them an overview of what's happening in the marketplace, because in terms of banking on the island, questions have been asked, and in terms of getting data, we can listen to the consumers who may have had issues, we can listen to the banks who will give us data, but because of commercial confidentiality and things, it's hard to get it. So in terms of the FSA, they're in the perfect position. They can ask the questions, they can talk about if they see an issue, and then that can be dealt with if there is a problem, or they can move on.
There is constant scrutiny from further afield about what the island does with its finances. Do you think this is something that would help the image if it was seen to be supporting businesses as well as personal accounts?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those useful tick box things that we're actually looking at the end provider, we're making sure the end provider is getting the best deal, that whether they're operating on High Street in Castletown or whether they're a big multinational company dealing around the world, that, you know, when it comes to key essentials of day-to-day business, the bank account's key. And when you come into the island, you want to open a bank account, and it's just, yeah, it's bread and butter of modern life.